Hello, my dear listeners, and welcome back to the Kapeel Gupta Career PodShow. And today, imagine this. You prepared hard for an interview. You researched the company, practiced your answers, wore your best shirt, even checked whether your hair looked professional enough. And then the email arrives. Thank you for your interest. Unfortunately, you do not even need to finish reading. We all know that paragraph. Rejected. And now what happens next tells me something very important about your future. Do you spend the next 3 days saying, maybe I'm simply not good enough? Or do you feel disappointed, learn what you can, make changes, and apply again? Now, that difference is called mental toughness. And today, we are talking about how to build mental toughness in daily life. Because every career success is not only about intelligence, marks, degrees, or talent. Sometimes the person who succeeds is simply the person who did not mentally collapse after the fifth no. Hi, I'm Kapeel Gupta, and my mission is to help people discover their true potential and create lives of purpose and fulfillment. As a human potential mentor, graphotherapist, and founder of Study Abroad Academy, I've spent over 2 decades helping students, parents, and professionals gain clarity, confidence, and direction. Because the future doesn't change when you choose a different career, it changes when you become a better version of yourself. So let me introduce you to a student named Arjun. Now Arjun wanted to get into good management program. He studied sincerely, but his first mock test was terrible. His friends scored 82 and Arjun, he scored 46. His immediate reaction was classic. Bus. MBA मेरे लिए नहीं. One test and his brain had already prepared a retirement speech. Now, that is what a mind sometimes does. One bad result becomes a prediction about our entire life. But Arjun's mentor asked him one simple question. Did the test tell you that you cannot succeed? Or did it tell you what you need to improve? Now, that question changed everything. Arjun stopped treating the score like an insult and started treating it like information. And that is the first lesson of mental toughness. Strong people do not avoid failure, they change the meaning of failure. Failure can mean I'm useless, or failure can mean my present method is not working. So, those are completely different stories. So, mental toughness begins when you stop attacking yourself and start examining the situation. A low mark is data. A rejected application is data. A poor interview is data. Even an embarrassing mistake is data. Use the data. Do not become the data. And now, here is another myth. Mental toughness does not mean becoming emotionless. It does not mean saying, nothing affects me. That is not strength. Sometimes that is simply excellent acting. A mentally tough person can feel disappointed. They can cry. They can be scared. They can say, this hurts. And then they will still ask, what now? That question, what now, is one of the strongest questions you can build into your life. You failed an exam, what now? Someone rejected you, what now? Your plan did not work, what now? The past gives you information, the question, what now, gives you power. And there's another place where mental toughness gets tested daily: comparison. Imagine you open LinkedIn, someone has joined Google, someone has received a scholarship, someone has launched a startup, someone has completed 6 certifications while you are deciding what to eat for lunch. and suddenly your perfectly normal Tuesday begins looking like a personal failure. So, mental toughness means learning to say, that is their journey. What is my next step? You do not need to defeat everybody. You need to become better than the version of yourself that keeps making excuses. That brings me to another powerful truth. Mental toughness is built through small discomforts. You do not become mentally strong only during big crises. You build it on ordinary days. When the alarm rings and you get up even though you want 10 more minutes, when you finish the assignment before opening Instagram, when you make the difficult phone call instead of postponing it, when you practice speaking even though you feel shy, or when you apply for the opportunity even though rejection is possible, every time you do something useful despite discomfort, you teach your brain, I can handle different things. That sentence becomes confidence. And please notice the difference. Confidence is not always, I know I will win. Real confidence is often, even if things go wrong, I trust myself to handle them. And that is mental toughness. And now, let us come back to Arjun. His next mock test improved, not dramatically. He scored 54. Earlier, he would have said, oh, only 8 marks more. And now he said, good, something is working. Then 61, then 68, and then again, one test fell back to 57. And this is where most people become frustrated. Growth is rarely a straight line. Some days you move forward, some days you fall, some days you wonder whether your brain has gone on casual leave. Mental toughness means not tuning one bad day into a bad identity. You're allowed to have a poor performance without calling yourself a poor performer. That distinction can protect your confidence. So, how do you actually develop mental toughness? Start by changing your inner language. Instead of saying, I cannot do this, say, I cannot do this yet. Instead of, I always fail, say, this attempt did not work. Instead of everyone is ahead of me, say, what can I improve today? Words matter because you are the person you hear most often. Make sure your own voice is not your biggest bully. Then build what I call your discomfort muscle. Every day, do one small thing you have been avoiding. Send the email, ask the question, start the workout, study the difficult chapter, speak to the professor, update the resume, make the application. It does not need to be dramatic. Small courage repeated daily becomes mental strength. And finally, learn to recover. And this is important. Mental toughness does not mean working without rest. A cricket player does not become stronger by playing 24 hours without stopping. Recovery is part of performance. Sleep, walk, exercise, spend time with people, sit quietly, take breaks. A strong mind is not a permanently exhausted mind. Rest is not quitting. Rest is preparation for the next round. And now, here's my challenge for you. For the next 7 days, every evening ask yourself one question. What uncomfortable thing did I handle if well today? Maybe you controlled your anger. Maybe you studied when you did not feel motivated. Maybe you accepted criticism without becoming defensive. Maybe you heard no and still continued. Write it down. Because when you start collecting evidence of your own strength, your mind slowly stops seeing you as fragile. And that can change your life. So let me leave you with this thought. Life will not always become easier. There will be exams, rejections, career confusion, people who misunderstand you, plans that fail, days when confidence disappears. Mental toughness does not remove these things. It changes the person who meets them. Do not ask life to become so easy that you never struggle. Become strong enough that struggle does not decide your future. And to every student or career aspirant listening today, remember this. You do not need to have your whole life, whole future figured out, but you do not need to develop. The ability to keep learning, adapting, and moving when things do not go according to plan. Sometimes career confusion itself damages confidence. You work hard, but because you do not know where you are going, every setback feels bigger. So, through my career counseling program, I help students and career aspirants understand their strengths, interests, aptitude, personality, and career possibilities so that their hard work gets the right direction. Because mental toughness is powerful, but mental toughness combined with career clarity is even more powerful. So, here's your life changing call to action for today. Choose the one thing you have been avoiding because it makes you uncomfortable. Do it within the next 24 hours, not perfectly, just courageously. One difficult conversation, one application, one study session, one decision, one beginning. Because mental toughness is not built by reading about courage, it is built every time you practice it. So, this is Kapeel Gupta, and you're listening to the Kapeel Gupta Career PodShow. Stay strong, stay flexible, keep moving, and remember, you do not become mentally tough when life stops testing you. You become mentally tough when you stop running from the test.